Hello everybody, it's Helena, and in today's video we are building this barn that has been converted into a house for a family, and we are building it in the world of Brindleton Bay in The Sims 4, obviously. So originally when I had the idea to make a converted barn, I thought it was going to be pretty small. Like, I thought I was only going to be able to fit one bedroom into it, and I just thought it was going to be for a little gardener or something like that who wanted to live in this barn that has been converted into a nice modern house, because I knew that I wanted to put a greenhouse on the side of it just because we recently got the new greenhouse haven kit, so I wanted to do something with that new kit. But the house ended up being a lot bigger than I originally had in mind, so I was able to fit a whole family into the house, and it is a 3-bedroom and 2.5 bathroom house, and I think it's really cute. I had so much fun making it. I thought it was like such a cute idea, and I really thought it fit nicely with the new greenhouse haven kit that we just got like last week or whenever it was that it came out. I think it was actually released on 4/20, which is quite fitting, might I add. But yeah, I just really wanted to build a cute little house with the new kit, so that is what I did in this video, obviously. And I did also want to build something that would, you know, go well with the new basement kit that was released on the same day, but that just like didn't really work out for me because I really wasn't feeling inspired to do something with that basement, and I really didn't want to make something like super grungy, and I just like had this idea for a converted barn in my head, and I feel like barns typically don't have basements, right? So I didn't really feel like it would be fitting to add one in this house, and since it is a converted barn, I feel like it has been converted in recent times, so I really wanted to make it modern and like nice on the inside, so I didn't feel like the grungy and kind of like messed up furniture that we got in the basement kit would fit very well into this house. So I did not really use it in this house. I did not use it at all, actually. Also, I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but this house does fit a total of 5 Sims, and as I did mention, it does have 3 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms. So on the second floor we've got the main bedroom, the parents' bedroom, and it is the only thing that's up there, or well, the room has an ensuite, so it's just like the landing area and then the like bedroom and the bathroom in one. That is the only thing on the first floor, because like half of it is open to the downstairs area because it's like a barn, and I wanted to have like the barn feeling in here, you know. And then on the first floor we've got 2 bedrooms. One of them is for 2 Sims, and I was thinking that 2 toddlers would live in there, so I put 2 little toddler beds in there. And then there's another kid's bedroom which is just for 1 child, and it's really cute. I had a lot of fun decorating that room in particular, but I just really like this house and I hope you all like it as well. And I did also build a silo on this lot, as you might have noticed, and I just really wanted to do that because, you know, once again, it is a barn that has been converted into a house, so I wanted to have a lot of those farmy things and elements on the lot, so I felt like a silo would be fitting. And okay, so I do have a bit of a story-ish in a way. Well, no, I feel like story is too big of a word for what I've got for these Sims, but I do have an idea of who lives here, just not quite like a story for them. But before I started building the house, I, as I mentioned, thought that a gardener would live here, and now that I like have made the house for more than just 1 Sim as I was originally planning on, I've also come up with a little job or profession for the other Sim, the other parent. So I was thinking that the other parent is a writer, and the silo has been converted into a little like office or writing room, or just like little like a getaway place for the parent who writes, so they don't have to like be in the main house with all of the other people. Because I was imagining that these people, when they were house hunting, they really wanted something that had room for like them, the parents, and also the like 3 kids, so they wanted to have quite a few bedrooms, and then they also really wanted to have an office in the house because one of the parents is a writer, so they spend a lot of time writing at the house, and they just like needed to have a room that they can close off so they don't get distracted by all of the noises and whatever else is going on in the rest of the house, of course. But this house does not have enough room to have an office inside of like the main thing, so I was thinking that when these people were house hunting, they like saw the silo and were like, oh my god, we should turn that into an office for me to sit there and write, and then the rest of the family can be in the rest of the house, you know? So that's like their little like writing sanctuary, I suppose. And it's really cute. It's like super simple, and the silo is super small, so it's not like there's a lot of room for them to sit there and write, but you know, it is just an office, and it is just like a little getaway spot for them, of space for them to like sit there in silence and whatever. But I just thought that that was a cute idea, although I feel like the people that live here now probably were the ones to like convert the barn into a livable house, because I feel like that just makes the most sense. Maybe, I don't know, because it's like specifically designed for them. They've got the office and the silo, and they've got like exactly 3 bedrooms, which is what they needed for their little family and whatnot. And they've got a greenhouse, so it's exactly like what they needed and not what somebody else needed. So I'm guessing that they did convert it themselves, and then they just like saw the silo, and instead of tearing it down, they saw some potential in it, and they decided to turn it into an office for the writer. And I thought that was really cool. And also this lot, this 30 by 30 lot in Burlington Bay, is on its own little like island, or it's kind of like a big-ish island. It's not super small, but this lot, like originally in game, when you just like open up a new save, is actually a museum. And I honestly don't really think that a residential home fits super well onto this lot, because I feel like it would be so scary to live here. Like, it's a fairly big like island, and it's all by itself. Like, this house is all by itself on there. Nobody else lives around here, and there aren't really like any just like, you know, those shell houses from the live edit catalog. There aren't really any of those. There is a lighthouse, and there's a little building next to the lighthouse, so maybe like in our little heads the lighthouse keeper does live in there, but apart from that, nobody else lives on this little island, and there's a pet cemetery on it. So I feel like it might be a little bit scary at night to live on an island like this. So that kind of like led me to think that maybe the author who lives here writes like scary stories. They write horror books, which I think is pretty fun, and I was kind of like thinking that maybe they are like, you know, kind of like method acting, they are method writing. I don't know if that's like a thing that real life authors do, but I was just like thinking that this author put themselves in this sort of like scary place, scary situation where there might be like some weird stuff happening around, and it probably gets really dark because there aren't any lights from all of the other houses around. So when the sun goes down, it's just like dark out here, right? So I feel like it's kind of scary, and maybe they like write about something similar. Some of their stories are also about people who live on a lonely little island in a barn, you know? I don't really know. But that's just what I was thinking. I really don't know if like method authoring, as I've decided to call it, is a thing that real life authors do. I imagine that it might be like specifically for horror authors. I don't really know, because I'm just like sitting here thinking that it's probably not super hard to, I don't even know, rent a pretty like scary looking house, like maybe a mansion if you've got the money for that, an abandoned mansion that seems very like scary, or maybe not abandoned, that was not the right word, but a house that allegedly is like haunted. It's not super difficult for an author to like put themselves in a situation like that, but I don't feel like it's really a thing for authors who write romance stories and that kind of stuff, because I feel like it's definitely a lot harder to like simulate that sort of situation for yourself. Like, it's pretty hard to just put yourself in some whirlwind love story. I don't really know. So I think that it might be a thing for real life authors who write scary stories, but I don't really know. So if you have any idea, or if you know of any authors who do that, I would love to know, because I've gotten very curious after I, you know, started to think about the story for these Sims that live here, or idea. It's not really a story, as I did mention, but yeah, I don't know, that's just like what I was thinking. I think that the author who lives here might write some horror stories. Also, I have a very hard time saying horror, like the horror. I cannot pronounce that goddamn word for the life of me. I don't know why that is, if it's like because of my accent, or it's just like something that really does not like sit right in my mouth. I don't know why I can't pronounce that word, but I feel the same way about the word mirror. Mirror. I don't know. It's really difficult, okay? Words are so hard. And yeah, I don't know, like those words that have double R's in the middle and then a little R at the end, like mirror and horror. It's hard to say, okay? I don't know. So in my voiceovers, if you just like ever hear me say mirror or something, just mind your business, okay? Because I'm on my like 7th take of trying to say the word and not sounding stupid while I do it, and I've just like given up. So I just say it in a weird way that does not sound right at all, and it just sounds very out of place, but it's just because I have a very, very hard time saying the word. But I mean, I feel like I don't really need to say horror very often. That's just because I decided that this author likes to write horror books. My goodness, it sounds so dumb when I say it. I just can't pronounce it. But I don't really face that problem very often. However, since I do Sims speed builds, I do say the word mirror sometimes. So I do, you know, struggle with that. But I guess I should just start saying something else instead of mirror. Maybe reflective glass. Yeah, that sounds so much better. That's a lot easier to say, okay? So maybe just like in the future, if I ever want to talk about a reflective glass, I can just be like, yeah, so I put this new reflective glass item in the hallway and it's just so cute. We just got it with the new pack and it's just so adorable. The new reflective glass item is just like so great, and I would definitely recommend buying the pack just to get that new reflective glass. It's just so amazing, you know? So if you ever catch me doing that, just mind your business, okay? Mind your goddamn business, because I just am very insecure about the way that I pronounce words of that sort. I don't know, speaking is really, really difficult sometimes. Anyway, back to the people, or the Sims, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, so I didn't really think too much about the other Sims, although obviously I did say that the like other parent was a gardener, and that is also why I put the greenhouse, so they could have a place for them to hang out with their plants, I guess. Just like a place for them to grow things inside. But I did also place a lot of plants outside in the backyard, so you can plant a lot of good stuff here, I guess, and probably make pretty good money from selling the plants, and you can live off of your produce and whatever else. So that sounds very nice. And the lot does also have a chicken coop, so I was definitely imagining that the gardener is also the one that takes care of the chicken girlies, because I feel like the author is just not really, you know, much of an outside girly. Yeah, they just prefer to stay inside. So the gardener takes care of all of the outside things, and the author just sits on their butt in the silo and writes their spooky books and has a good time with that. Yeah, I feel like that sounds very, very cool and great. And I feel like the author is definitely super successful, and they have some books that have done very, very well in the past. So these people, they just like have had this dream of converting a barn into their dream house for a very, very long time, and then they found this barn that was being sold on Zillow or wherever people buy houses in America. That's just like the website that I've heard of, okay? Anyway, but they just like saw the abandoned-ish barn on some housing website, and it probably did not cost a lot of money, because I feel like the location is definitely not for everyone, and it was just very not great. I feel like the condition of the barn was not super good at all. So they got this house for not a lot of money, but then they poured a lot of money into renovating it and converting it into a space that you can actually live in. So obviously they had to like insulate it and do all of those things that make it a proper house. They had to install plumbing and do all of the other stuff that I don't know about, because I'm just a silly goose who makes Sims videos. I don't actually build houses in real life, so I don't know what you need to do in order to build an actual house. I don't know. But they did all of that for this barn, and they just love their house now. So I definitely wanted to make it super like nice and modern on the inside, because I just feel like these people would prioritize having a really nice house, because in my mind these people work from home and they've got the money, so why not have a really, really nice house with some fun and probably pretty expensive furniture and whatnot. Yeah, that was just what I was thinking, but I really like this house, and I hope you all like it as well, okay? Sorry, that sounded so aggressive. Like, why did I say okay like that? That was so stupid. I'm in a very like silly mood today for some reason. I was not really doing very good before I started this voiceover, but now I'm like feeling happy and silly, and that's why I love to do Sims speed build, the voiceovers and whatnot. It's just so fun, and it always like brings me in a really good mood, far better than I was in before I started recording, which is really, really good. So thank you for, you know, watching and all that stuff. Not to get all sappy, that's not what I want to do in this video, but yeah, I just really appreciate that you guys are, you know, watching, and I am not just like sitting here and talking into the abyss, although it does feel that way sometimes, because I'm just like sitting here talking to my microphone, and it just like doesn't really feel real that real people are like watching the videos and listening to my voice, and I feel like my brain can't really comprehend the fact that I'm sitting here in my bedroom in Copenhagen, Denmark, and I'm talking into my silly little microphone, and then in a few hours, if I upload this video today, I don't really know, but when I upload this video, people from the other side of the world are going to be able to sit and listen to me talk, and they're going to be able to see what I created in The Sims and recorded and whatnot. It's just wild. I feel like my brain cannot comprehend it at all, and whenever I just like see that a video has, you know, a few hundred views, it seems like just, you know, numbers, and I don't really take into consideration that like a few hundred people actually clicked on the video and watched it. That's just like so wild to me. I don't feel like my brain understands it properly. Obviously I'm aware of it, I just don't understand it fully. Yeah. But it's just so wild to me that right now somebody from, I don't know, like Thailand and Washington DC, hi Joe. Why did I say that? Anyway, but like people from Australia or just anywhere that's really far away is like sitting there watching this video right now. It's just so wild to me. I don't understand it, okay? I don't understand it in my stupid little half empty brain. Yeah. My little walnut smooth brain thing. Yeah, my brain does not understand anything at all. And to be honest, I feel like most people who create like content on the internet feel that way because it's just so hard, and I don't really believe that our brains, like our silly little human brains, are really wired to be able to comprehend that sort of stuff. Like we're not wired to be able to like understand that thousands of people are potentially like listening to you and watching you and like interested in what you do and whatnot. Like I don't think it really is a thing that anybody actually is aware of, like fully aware of. Of course they know that it's happening because they can see the numbers on their screens, but it's just like so wild that it's actually like happening, I guess. I don't know. I don't feel like a lot of people actually understand it, if anybody. But I might just be telling myself that because I don't personally understand it, so I really just want to drag everyone else down and say that they don't understand it either, but they might. I don't know. Who really knows? But like I definitely do believe that there is some merit to my little theory about people, like humans, not being able to fully comprehend that like thousands of people might be like watching you when you post something on the internet, because it's just so like difficult to actually realize, even though you do know it because you can see the numbers, as I said, but it's so difficult. I don't understand it personally. But the reason why I think people can't actually like comprehend all of those things is because it's such a new thing for people to be able to interact with other humans that aren't like really close to them. Like obviously the whole thing about being able to share your thoughts and whatever else on the internet is completely new because the internet is so new, but also just being able to call people on the phones, that's also super new as well. Like in the grand scheme of things, that's such a recent concept, and I feel like our brains just have not caught up with us yet. But I might be wrong about that. I have not looked into that in any way, shape or form, but I'm sure that a lot of like psychologists have, you know, been interested in that as well. I'm not the only one who has ever asked that question. Even though I do like to think that I'm special, but I'm not. I have never had one original thought in my life. Let me know what you think though. Do you think that we as humans are able to understand the whole concept of like more than just a few, maybe like 50 plus people are listening to us at once? Like obviously the whole like, I don't know, idea of people gathering to see a one person is not super new, because obviously like one or more people have always been in power, and then like people have been gathering to like watch somebody speak. So a lot of people have been watching just one person while they do something, I guess perform or speak or whatever the hell they are doing. I don't really know, but like it's not super new for a lot of people to be watching you. But I feel like it's so hard for us to understand when we can't see that people are looking at you at the current moment. So I don't feel like we really understand it, even though we know that it's happening, I guess. That's just how I feel, at least. And I think that's also why so many influencers sometimes feel so comfortable just in front of cameras and just feel very, very comfortable with their audience, because they don't really understand that so many people are watching them and like judging them and like, you know, really taking in what they're saying and listening to that and not just taking your words at surface level. People are actually listening to your words. Like when you've got a big audience, people are actually watching you and they actually care about what you do. So if you do something that's problematic, you're gonna get in trouble. But I think a lot of influencers just sort of like forget that because it's so hard to understand that a lot of people are watching them. They might just think that maybe 10 or so people are interested in their content. That's how I feel sometimes. I feel like maybe just 3 people are listening to me when I talk, but it might be a lot more. I don't know. Okay, I really have no idea who is sitting there listening to me. And also, like, if my videos ever get like quite a lot of views and I actually like take a moment to think about the fact that thousands of people clicked on my videos and potentially listened to me, I just like tell myself that no, they just like clicked off immediately, or they just like muted me because they thought I was annoying within the first 30 seconds, so they didn't actually listen to me all the way through. So I feel like sometimes I could just say whatever I want, but like that's not the case at all because people are listening to me, you know? So I can't just like say everything. There are consequences to my actions, and I just think that a lot of people on the internet forget about that. Think about what you share on the internet twice before they go up there, you know? I guess that's the whole moral of what I'm trying to say, even though I did not have a moral of this story when I started saying it. I'm just spewing out my thoughts right now, so that's why it's so incohesive and I'm just like, you know, because I'm just spewing out my thoughts into your little ears. Wow, I've been talking about absolute nonsense in this video, but that's just like what I've been needing today. I've had a pretty rough day today. I don't really know why or what. Well, it's just because I've been busy and I've just been, you know, a little weird in my head. Why am I just saying blah, blah, blah? Those are not words. But yeah, I've just been feeling a little not too great, and now I'm feeling really, really good because it just put me in a really, really good mood to be able to just sit here and talk out of my booty. So that was fun. Thank you for listening to me. And this is the house. We're just adding some finishing touches. I feel like I always just like have to mention a little bit about the house when I end off the video, or else it just seems weird because it is a Sims voiceover. It's not just me spewing my thoughts out, even though that is what I want to do. But I hope you all like this house. You can of course download it on my gallery page. My ID on the gallery is LacyLena. It's exactly like my YouTube channel. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do give it a little thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you aren't subscribed already and you enjoy my content. I would really, really appreciate it, but you know, you do not have to. But besides all of that, I hope you're having an amazing, amazing day, and then I cannot wait to see you all in my next video that I will be posting in just a few days. So bye everybody.